intellectual. I'm an intellectual. I'm an intellectual. You know, more than anything, we wake up and we blessed every morning. We still got a lot of work to do, so we don't get too caught up in what's going on. We just stay focused on what we got to do as far as to take it to the next level. Sure. We definitely blessed and we mindful of that. I got killers to the left of me. Another $1 million bill, that's just some regular shit. See my granny on the jet, some shit I never forget. Next day we flew to Vegas with my Puma connects. We break bread, we ain't new to success. Play music and best. Enterprise, take lucrative steps. Cold game, but I knew it was chess. As a youth in the set, learn the game, you a student at best. But it's a couple things you can expect. Nah, just like money, no money, niggas shooters respect. Other shooters, we was both throwing my crew on your neck. I'm on the freeway in the drop, it got me losing my breath. I do the dash with the blues on. Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Kim, and welcome back to the Flying Intellectual Podcast. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. If you know me, or if you don't know me, you know, Nipsey was a big influence to me as it applies to being a leader, being an entrepreneur, being a community activist, caring about people. And he really wasn't like the other rap niggas, you know what I'm saying? He was a man who was trying to stay in his community and help people out of their community. So to be taken away that in that kind of form and fashion is really crazy. So blessings to his family and all that, man. I went to his show last year, and the aura that I felt as I was there and watching him on stage, man, dude was larger than life, and something drew me to his energy, man. And I'm glad that I got to see that in person. So today we're going to be talking about staying on task, staying focused. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we have things that we're trying to attain, or things that we are attaining, things that we're working towards. But in life, a lot of curveballs get thrown at you in terms of distractions. A lot of the time, we don't know that how to keep our mind on one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I do many things. So sometimes, you know, you put your attention into something and another thing gets left behind. Or you try and do 2-3 things at the same time, and you might not be paying that much attention to something that you need to. So let's talk about ways to stay on task and achieve what we're trying to achieve, man. I got a few things that I think can help all of us, and I'm definitely talking to myself as well while I'm speaking with y'all on this podcast today. So let's go through it, man. I think first things first, dedication. Being dedicated is something that gets thrown around so many times. The word dedication is thrown around. Dedicating yourself means, in essence, to submerge yourself and to worry yourself with that thing that you're concentrating on. Putting yourself in a situation where most, if not all, your attention is focused and is directed in that direction. Now, with dedication, you have to know that it's a step that you're going to take to attaining something. So putting yourself, submerging yourself into this thing, sometimes with that, you got to isolate yourself, right? You definitely got to isolate yourself sometimes. You got to let people know, yo, I got things to do, yo. You know, I can't come out this weekend. I got to do this. Or I can't do this with you today. I got this to accomplish. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that's hard because people don't understand. For the most part, a lot of people are not going to understand where you're coming from. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you acting different. Oh, you being selfish. There's nothing wrong with being selfish when it comes to the betterment of yourself. And I think a lot of the time we forget that. Not selfish in terms of keeping others down and using others for your benefit, but I'm talking about being good to yourself. So staying focused and staying on task sometimes is going to require you to be selfish. A lot of times it's going to require you to be selfish and isolate yourself. Always make a plan. And I got to be better with this as well. Planning things and writing things down is super, super important. Setting deadlines for yourself. You have to set deadline for yourself, or you're just kind of working to no end. If you want to get something done, set a deadline, even if it's a soft deadline, and even if you don't get it completely done by that time, set a deadline. So at least you would have a point to work towards. And if you need to extend it a little bit when you get to that point or get close to that point, you can do that. But you want to be able to remember and to know and to have something in front of you to go after. Just like an animal in the wild. If I'm a lion and I see, my prey out there, if I don't keep my eye on that prey is going to get away. So you have to have it in front of you at all times. Like the carrot in front of the horse. Like, let it lead you. Your head's up all the time. You're looking at this thing that you put down because now you want to attain that. So you're not just working endlessly to no end. You feel me? So always have a plan for yourself. Set deadlines. Deadlines. And when you attain that and you get to that deadline, you check that off and you set another one. Rid yourself of distractions. In this day and age, I feel like we are the most distracted we have ever been. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but in my day-to-day life, I feel like distractions come from everywhere. Especially when we have our phones in our hands 24/7, 365. Our phone alone hosts hundreds of distractions. Just our phone. Think about it. For real. How many distractions do we have on our phones alone? So for me, sometimes I got to delete a few apps. I got to sign out of a few things and forget a couple passwords. But you got to do what you got to do to rid yourself of distraction. The average human being in a study that I found from 2015 has an 8-second attention span. That's less than that of a goldfish. So let's think about it. 8 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. That's 8 seconds. That's it. My mind is ready for another thing. And it may seem silly to us like, oh, please, I can concentrate for more than 8 seconds. But really think about it. In this day and age, I would say attention deficit is the highest it's ever been. And it might not be medically. You might not be like medically diagnosed with ADD, but just our interactions on a daily basis. You could barely have a conversation with somebody without them having to do something else. And I'm guilty of it too. Your phone's ringing. Your Instagram notification going off. Your Facebook notification going off. Your Snapchat going off. Your podcast app is saying such and such has a new podcast out now. I mean, do y'all, you feel me? Like that was just on my phone. Not talking about walking through life, not talking about going day to day and what may come to you outside of your four walls at your house or whatever, but just your phone. So sometimes shutting off your phone is necessary, man. Sometimes shutting off your phone is necessary. Sometimes signing out of that app for a few is necessary. Fasting from certain things on a regular basis, allowing you to be able to focus completely on whatever the task is at hand. It's okay to do that. I know, like, we feel like we're gonna miss the next piece of news, or we're gonna miss this, or we're gonna miss that, but really and truly, what we're really missing are the things that matter the most, and the things that we really should be concentrating on. Life is short, man. Going back to the Nipsey Hussle thing, we don't know when we're gonna be gone. People are dying younger and younger. You know, back in the day, it used to be parents burying kids. I mean, it used to be kids burying their parents, excuse me. Parents bury their kids more now than ever. It's getting younger and younger and younger. And I'll be the first to say, even if I pride myself in being a driven individual, this Nipsey death thing, it really helped me like really get back on task, pun intended. But just seeing that somebody who was doing so much on a daily basis is dead and gone, right? For his doing so much for his community, he's doing music, he's doing all these things. Former gangbanger, so far removed, but yet so close still to the home of where he grew up, and which he died right there in the same neighborhood that he used to gangbang in, and now you die on that same block, doing good. Rumors has it he was there at the store to get some clothes from the store for a homie who was coming out of the pen. Like, he didn't tell no security he was going there, whatever. He just popped up. They didn't even know he left the crib. That's what rumor has it. So he literally died doing good. And to see the legacy that he left, unfinished as it may be, he still impacted so many people. And I can't even say, you know, sometimes people see people rest in peace, oh, and then people will be like, oh, you on the hype, you didn't even know such and such, you know, whoop, 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 you didn't even listen to their music, whatever. I really truly believe majority of the posts I see as it applies to Nipsey. Because he was that much of a magnet of a person. He was that real of a person, that organic of a person, that he touched that many people's lives, whether they were a fan of his music or not. Just going on Instagram or YouTube and listening to his interviews, dude was very profound, well-spoken. And he opened up different avenues of your mind if you really listen to him. You know what I'm saying? About owning your own, about buying up the block. So, looking at how he impacted his community made me say, yo, let's go. You're not doing enough. And not that I need more on my plate, but what I do have on my plate, let's really go at it. Let's stop playing. We don't know when our time is going to be gone. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing? Are you at your full potential? Are you really, really digging into what you need to be doing? Really ask yourself that as you think about it. Really ask yourself, am I maximizing my 24 hours? Am I really maximizing it? Are there some things that I can reorganize in those 24 hours to spend more time on the things that matter? Whether it be family, whether it be your career, whatever. Staying on task. That's what I really want us to do for the rest of this year, 2019. Let's stay on task. All right? All right, so we talked about dedicating yourself. We talked about setting deadlines for yourself. You got to rid yourself of distractions. Right? You got to isolate yourself. You also got to streamline sometimes. Streamline tasks. Simplify it. You can't, my mom always said, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't do everything in a day. 24 hours, we're all allotted that same time. You can do a lot in 24 hours, but you can't do it all in one day. And sometimes we spend so much time doing a little piece of everything that nothing gets done. Or it takes a longer time. Now, I'm not talking about delayed gratification. I'm not talking about deliberate, slow, methodical moves that's going to set you up for longer success over time. That's actually a good thing. I'm just talking about the opposite of that, which is doing too much at once and not being able to work one at a time or accomplish anything one at a time. So that goes right in hand with that setting that deadlines. You got to streamline your tasks sometimes. Streamline. Simplify it. Break it down. Okay, I want to start my business. Okay, that's a broad topic. What do you want to do first? I need to gain the capital for it. Okay, let me concentrate on that. Saving some money a month, whether it's on food, whether it's on whatever, clothes, whatever it is, let's start there. So I'm streamlining. Want to start this business? Let me get this capital together. And while I'm getting the capital together, I can write down what I want to attain and foreshadow and plan, right? So we're still using all the things that we just talked about so far. And now that I did that, now I can go ahead, now that I have the capital, now that I started writing this down and started planning, now I can spend a little money on getting whatever I need to get the business off the ground. So streamlining and simplifying it helps you be able to attack it one at a time. And it doesn't look like it's this plethora of things that has to be done and you get confused and bamboozled. Focus, I saw something on the internet and it really was profound to me. Focus is like a muscle. You got to train it. I'll say that again. Focus is like a muscle. You got to train it. Anybody who knows about working out is really about training muscles, individual muscles. Training these muscles to be able to know, okay, hey, this amount of reps, this amount of sets, whatever we're doing to help that muscle build is going to train it for growth. You want to be able to train your focus so that it can help you with your growth. Practice ways on a daily basis. Practice your focus. Deliberately put your mind to things and deliberately set yourself up to be successful. We gotta stay focused. So you have to be able, it can't be something that we turn on and off. It's got to be something that we work on daily. Just like the gym. When you're off and on in the gym, your body looks like you're off and on in the gym. Right? If you're consistently in the gym, your body's going to look like you're consistently in the gym. If you're consistently focusing, you are going to look like you're consistently focused. Your tasks are going to be getting done. They're going to be getting achieved. You're going to be doing things. But if you're off and on and you're focused like you're off and on in the gym, okay, you might look in shape now, but then you might look sloppy in 5 months because you stopped working out for 3 months. Right? So it's this back and forth and this discipline. Learning how to train your focus on a daily basis. Put yourself in different environments. A lot of the time, different environments reap different results. Social spaces are something that are highly recommended. I highly recommend them because you're going to this place to work. Other people like-minded are going there to work. There are no distractions. There are putting yourself in an environment of like-minded individuals with no distractions. That kind of stuff helps to train your focus. Going to Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? Coffee shop, whatever. Taking yourself out of your comfort zone and just putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, which will help you to just concentrate on what you have to do. Find pride in what you're doing. Once you find pride in what you're doing, that in itself will help motivate you. Nobody is going to be motivated by something that they're not proud of. Nobody is going to be driven if they're not proud of it. You have to have some sense of pride in the thing that you want to attain. If it's a $1 billion company, you're going to find pride in working your way toward that $1 billion company. If it's a clothing line, you got to find pride in the clothing. You have to find pride in it yourself before anybody else finds pride in it for you. So being proud of what you're attaining, being proud of what you're doing, it's an ultimate goal. It's an ultimate thing where it's going to help you in everyday aspects working towards your goal. Let's go back from the top real quick for this rundown of the few things that I feel like helps staying on task. Dedication. Set deadlines for yourself. Rid yourself of distractions. Isolate yourself. It's okay. You can isolate yourself for some time. We all need us time. Me time. Streamline your tasks and simplify. Train your focus like it's a muscle. Every day, practice focus. Find different environments to work in. And finally, find pride in what you're doing. That in itself will motivate and drive you because you're proud of what you're doing. I hope these things help y'all. As I said, it's for me as well. As I said earlier as well, Nipsey's death really made me say, all right, yo, we got to get back on it. We don't know how much time we have, guys, gals. Let's make every moment count. You can hit me up, man. You can find me on @FlyYoungIntellectual on Instagram, @LegendOfChem on Twitter. I'm going to post this up. Please share, like, review, rate, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Fly Young Intellectual is about informing, inspiring, and interacting with the people. Working on some things that I really want to make happen this year. I'm going to talk to y'all about it in the next couple podcasts. It's a beautiful time to be alive. I want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to attain whatever it is that we want to attain. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.